seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
How dare you!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
And good morning, everyone. How the heck are you? Welcome to the Wednesday. Oh, it is Wednesday, July 28th. No more Wednesdays this month, I'm telling you. This is that edition of Nevermind the Furthermore, the interactive creative conversation show with you and me. You type in comments, I will reply, and whether you're watching live or on the rerun, we appreciate you all being here. We want to also thank Plasma Fire Graphics for being our sponsor of this episode. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. Now, Brian, I hear you say, if Jeffrey Hayes is so damn good, why isn't he doing a book cover for you, rather? Well, he did. He did this one, number 4 in the Snow Shorts series, Snow Ambition. It's been out a couple months, but if you haven't picked it up, it's only 99 cents still at Amazon.com. Check it out. It's a quick read crime thriller that you will enjoy. But Plasma Fire Graphics, check out their Facebook page. Check out plasmafiregraphics.com. They are the people that are going to give you a beautiful wraparound cover for your book. Great comic book cover, the graphics to sell it, and a beautiful book trailer like the one you just saw. So check out what he does, because Jeffrey Hayes is not only talented, he's affordable. He's awesome. He is terrific to work with too. You will love him. I do. In a manly sort of way. But anyway, check out plasmafiregraphics.com when the look of your book matters to you. Also, check out Patreon. For a mere monthly stipend, you can support your favorite creators on a monthly basis. And just $1 gets you a mention on my shows and in my publications. $5 a month will get you a peek at my works in progress, like The Terrors, coming out later this year, that we hope you'll enjoy. And it's going to have a Jeffrey Hayes cover too, and I've already seen it. Hot diggity, it's beautiful. But anyway, these people are beautiful too, because without them, we cannot stay on the air. Or it'd be harder if we did. But anyway, they do us a great service, and we're proud to have them. And also, they have some Patreons of their own, so please check them out as well. But if you want to see what I'm offering in exchange for your financial support, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And also, if you want to, please sign up for our monthly newsletter at this address here, risingtide.pub. The next issue will go out on the 1st of August. Holy cats, we're in August soon. Oh, dear Lord. But anyway, please check that out. It's a good time. Also, check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We've got your information and a little bit of education every now and then coming up in front of you and effortlessly piercing your brain. It'll be wonderful. And then we rinse it off and give it back to you when we're done. But anyway, tonight, be sure to tune in at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central for the new episode of The Truth Mongers with Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming. Tonight, they're going to talk about giants in history. I learned a lot from the first 2 shows. I think you're going to dig the third one too. And then tomorrow, at 10 a.m., Ted is going to show you his ugly timepieces. That ought to be a lot of fun. And then tomorrow night is a full night of broadcasting. We're going to have Comic Book Spectrum at 7 p.m. with myself, Eric Hawkins, Clyde Hall, and Brian Rodman, with special stunt double Jody McPhee if necessary. But also then at 9 p.m. we're going to have Stupid O'Clock with Joe Dog and the Skunk Rocker and Dan and John and Heather and Bill and heaven knows who else is going to wander in there. But anyway, it's a great conversation show, lots of fun, and stay tuned for Dan Hollifield's. After that, Dan Hollifield's Last Man Standing. Will you be the last person standing? Only one way to find out. Tune in tonight. It'll be glorious. And speaking of glorious, I want to thank my guest last night from Clever Title Pending, which we still have the graphics up for because we were distracted. Anyway, please check it out. Last night we had Roland Mann on, who is an incredible writer and editor and is in charge of Silverline Comics. And right now they've got a Kickstarter campaign for Silverline Double Feature. It's adventure and kids humor. And Silverline team up with the Champion and Miss Fury. It's awesome. But we talked about it last night along with Thomas Fiermonte Jr., Peter Clinton, and Roberta Conroy. It was a good show, and thank you all for your remarks and your questions last night. They had fun, I had fun, and you'll have fun when you watch it on my YouTube or Facebook channels. And also when you're watching us, please give us a reaction on Facebook. Love us, like us, mock us with your laughter. We're fine either way. But anyway, be sure to also like the page you're watching on if you haven't already, whether it's Kathy Jackson's books, Rising Tide Broadcast Network, or Rising Tide Publications. It's kind of a thank you to our hosts. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you to our new flurry of subscribers. Really appreciate you being there. We will make it worth your while. I will do my best to fulfill that promise. And also, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And be sure to give us a big thumbs up this video. And if you would, when you're subscribing, please tingle that bell so you get notified of all of our upcoming shows. And now let's launch into your comments, shall we? Yes, we shall. Michaela Jade's first in the door at 9:48. Hi there. You are riding along with me at work today. It's already miserable hot. Darling, please take care of yourself. Also, check out Michaela Jade every weekday morning. She starts you out with some morning motivation. A good swift kick in the butt to get you out of bed and working towards your dream. Also, she has a great show on Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern called Tidbits and Scribbles, where she tells you how she's making her career work. And I know you're picking up subscribers too, darling. That makes me happy. I want you to pass me up, okay? And Carl Witzman is here next. Good to see you, Carl. Poor Michaela, I need to go get my morning motivation, but I had to run errands this morning and missed it. Yeah, and folks, let's make sure that when you're on that page as well as here, please give the page a like and thumbs up on that video. All right, because she does good work and she deserves to be rewarded. And hello, YouTube. Please be careful, Michaela. Yes, I agree. Everyone should be careful. And Donna Carly, mwah, glad you're here. Hope you're doing well. And Carl Witzman's a better person because he just watched Michaela's motivational movie. I am calling bait and switch on that thumbnail. Well, I didn't get to see it yet, so I will check that out yet. And Willow Schuyler, here I am to save the day. I would love to see you in a Mighty Mouse costume. That would be awesome. I bet your ears would be amazing. Anyway, Willow Schuyler, check her out. She's got a new show called Cryptid Crunch, premiering in August on the Back of the Cereal Box Network. Pardon me. And also she's got her own Willow's Pillow Talk on the Hanging with Web Show Network. And we got to make an appointment to get you on Clever Title Pending because you're awesome, Willow. And thank you all. And thank you, Willow, every day for the ongoing promotion of this network. We really appreciate it. Anything we can do to return the favor, we will. And everyone's yelling Willow because that's her name. And Skunk Rocker, good morning, Nevermorians. Today's weird random factoid is brought to you by Raid Wasp and Hornet insecticide sprays up to 25 feet for maximum saturation. Raid kills bugs dead. Yes, it does. It works on wasps. Oh, God. I shouldn't be laughing because I was in a life-threatening situation because I am allergic to certain insect stings. And That was a big ass wasp in here. This wasp, I'm not exaggerating when I say the wasp was probably a good 1.5 inches long. And snorted flames. And I shot him with, well, first I sprayed this room, so I'm probably getting diseases that science can't even find a name for, much less a cure. And then I sprayed him with what I thought was indoor spray. It wasn't. It's that outdoor spray when you're like, when the wasp nest is on the second story and you have to hit it and this sprays. It's like, we drowned him. I don't know about the chemicals, but we drowned his ass. And deservedly so. But anyway, I'm glad you people had time to mock my danger. But anyway, no, it's gonna be a good day, because hopefully we won't have another wasp in here. Did I load that one thing? Somebody's I don't have it. I didn't load it yet. Dang it. I've got to do that. We've got a video now in case we have to make a run for it. But we may have to make a run because we have Kofefe. I've got to say, please send some prayers and your positive energies to Cookie. She injured herself at work last night. She tripped in the parking lot just as she had parked the last car. And she may have cracked her ulna. So we're waiting on a doctor's appointment to get that looked at. She did have to go to the ER last night, and she finally got in this morning about 6 o'clock. She called me at 3 to let me know that she was going to be a little late and I should go to bed, which I did, but I've been up ever since. So she was awake when I came through before the show. So she's had 3 hours of sleep. I've had 3 hours of sleep. We're going to be cranky this afternoon. Anyway, I'm hoping she can get knocked out. And anyway, please send some love to Cookie today. All right. It's nothing life threatening, and I think it's going to be okay. Hopefully won't require surgery or anything, but we got plans. So this girl can't be down and out. I got to have her working for me, This isn't how I wanted to bring her home, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, Scott Cracker continues. The interior and exterior of Midwich Elementary School in the video game Silent Hill is directly based on the elementary school from Kindergarten Cop. Oh my God, is that really? That's really interesting. That is so cool. And Willow Schuyler, how's it going, folks? I am doing well despite a lack of sleep. Cookie is doing all right, all things considered. Hope you are doing well, our Peppermint Princess. Carl Westman says they need to release a game based on the Breakfast Club called Bender's Bender, where the Bender character chases the principal through the halls. Other characters try to prevent tragedy. Ooh, a Breakfast Club video game is a good idea, though. Like, it could be a trivia thing, like You Don't Know Jack, where they have to answer questions to get out of detention. And then you lead up to the point where one of them snaps and you have to go, it could be any player. That player, maybe it's the one who gets the least number of points. They snap and they go out to kill the principal, the teacher rather. And I'm seeing dollar signs here, people, seeing dollar signs. I'm telling you. I got great ideas. Eric Hawkins, good morning to you, my friend. How are you this morning? Looking forward to seeing you and talking with you tomorrow night on Comic Book Spectrum, CBS, the only CBS you need. It's going to be a fun show, and it's a moist, quiet morning here. Willow and the Eric and Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. Good morning, everyone. Happy Hump Day. Have a wonderful day and a super weekend. Check out TyroneTonyReedJr.com and be rewarded with great stuff. He's a great writer, great speaker, great human being. Love him, love his wife. Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. Pardon me. I got my necktie on too tight. Tony, I hope you're having a great week so far, and I hope your weekend's looking even better. Hey, are you going to pop into the Superman celebration? That's this weekend, starting Friday morning, I think it is. Go to supermancelebration.net. We will not be setting up, but 5 p.m. on Saturday evening, we're going to have the annual, except for last year, Save the Massic auction, and we're going to be auctioning off some great collectible stuff. So please sign up for the fastest auction in the Midwest. It's really great. And our next show, by the way, is going to be August 7th, 2 Saturdays from now, at Kokomo Con at 1500 North Reed Road in Kokomo, Indiana. Really, really looking forward to that. One of my favorite shows, one of my favorite people helps run it, Sean Hilton, and it's going to be a real cool event. Y'all ought to go there and check in with Comics Cubed in Kokomo, their channel on Facebook, and they still have their twice weekly shows where they sell comic books. And if you're looking to plug those holes in your collection, this is a good way to do it. And Grant Lankard, good to see you this morning, sir. I almost embarrassed myself and said the sound wasn't working. I had my volume down like a dummy. Well, you see, not everything in this world is my fault. A great deal of it is, but not this. Grant, I'm glad you can hear me. And I'm also happy that we are seeing the one, the only, the delightful, the delicious Sarah. Mwah, good morning to you, sweetheart. Hope you are doing well. And someone who's going to be at Superman Celebration this weekend, along with Amy Hale and Sean Delaney and Molly Daniels, is author Kathy Jackson. Good morning. Have a wonderful day. The Superman Celebration is this weekend. See you there. We will be there. Cookie with a busted wing, but we will be there come what may. And back in the cereal box. Hey, there, friends and foes, back in the cereal box every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube and Facebook. And also check out their other variety, or an array of spectacular geek entertainment. Do check that out. And tonight will be Yay Comic Books, where John gives you a look at what he picked up at the comic shop today. And Joe Dog McKeel, good morning. Good morning, my friend. How are you? Hey, Joe, just noticed that some of the things they talked about on StreamYard talked the other night on Sunday. I saw the thing. We may do the Friday show. That's another thing. I will not be here on Friday, but we're still having a Friday show, and I'm still going to be the host. We are planning something. So anyway, we're going to test something StreamYard is now doing. So please join us at the normal time on Fridays. At least we're going to see if this works. If it doesn't, we'll post an announcement. But anyway, good morning to Amy Hale. Mwah! She and her husband, Mr. Amy Hale, will be at the Superman Celebration as well, with Kathy and Molly and a whole bunch of other really super cool people. I'm looking forward to seeing you both ladies this week, and it's going to be great. Carl Westman says, I just hope you don't get all heat stroke at the Superman thing. I think we'll stay indoors this year. Yeah, I'm not going to be exerting myself too much. The heat's been getting to me this year. I drink a lot, and I sweat like a racehorse. So yeah, we're probably going to be in as much AC as we can manage. We're going to stop off at Lambert's in Sykeston, Missouri before we go over, but it's going to be a good time. And Carl, wish you and Donna would get down there one year. And Carl, we'll be all indoors at Celebration. We'll all be indoors at Celebration. I think so. And good for John, says Carl. And I'm jealous of everybody going to the Superman Celebration. I want to go one day, but my car couldn't handle the drive. Maybe one day. Hope so. It is a good time. And you got to see the Superman Celebration. Get your picture taken with Joshua Boltinghouse, who is a super guy, and he is Superman. He is a terrific human being, and he's got muscles. He really does. And Jeffrey Hayes, good Wednesday morning, Nevermorians. Make it a great day. Arting while listening. Oh, good. Arting. I hope you didn't skip a key there. Anyway, which I do anyway. And check out plasmafiregraphics.com. When the look of your book matters to you, Jeffrey, hope you are having a sensational day. My talented friend. And yay for the arting. I think everybody will go into room and art as loud as they can, okay? And the wasp shot flames. This fish is getting longer the more times the story is told. Well, I had to rip that saddle off that big boy and wrestle him to the ground, but I finally pulled something out of my utility belt, my bat anti-wasp spray, and did away with the massive critter. So yeah, next telling of that, I'll probably be in a biplane shooting at him off as he's hanging off the Empire State Building. And poor Cookie, yeah, the poor girl, she does not deal well with discomfort, and I don't know that I think she broke a bone early, like in her teens, but this is the first one that she's done, at least since we've known each other. So yeah, I will be babying her, Carl, I promise. And Nevermorians Rising Tide, Keisha Acuff is joining Willow as a co-host on Cryptid Crunch. That is going to be so cool. I am, it was kind of waylaid by her recent surgery, but Keisha, I want her to do a show on our network too. We're going to get her broadcasting between you and me. I think you are both going to be great. I know you're great already, but I think it's going to be a super show. And Willow, anything we can do to help you promote it, I'm all over it. And oh no, says Donna Carlene, may air watch over her and she'll be better. I'm hoping so. And thank you sincerely, Donna. I really do appreciate it. And Legend of Traveling TARDIS every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Hashtag bring Cookie home from the hospital. Someone else did that for me. I did check. When she called, I said, well, do I have to come out to the ER for anything? And somebody from work took her out there and then picked her up and brought her back to her car, and then she made it home. So, yeah, we will be babying her as much as possible today. As they and back to the center box, and they may be tracking the enigmatic Manatee Man. That's true. I can tell you where the Manatee Man's hideout is in Earl Park, Indiana. So, not that I would betray him unless it was for a good amount of money. Anyway, but anyway, no, that's going to be a super show. I'm looking forward to the cryptid thing. I really am. I didn't even know what cryptids were a few years ago, and now I am falling in love with the mythology of them. I really think I think it's great. I really do. I dig those stories. And the Ninja Genko, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, my friend. I hope the morning is treating you well. Indeed. And Eric Hawkins says the wasp was 8 feet tall and breathed fire, laughed at the insecticide, and spat it back at me. Yes, see, you got the same one I did. And RPG, role-playing games, I'm all about that. And much healing love to Cookie. Not sure what the ulna is, but ouch anyway. It's like near the elbow. She came down she made a 4-point landing. Well, 6. But anyway, she's got bruises on one hand, 2 knees, and then the other one, the weight came down on her elbow. So it's in that area. Let's look that up. We're gonna take a moment here. Oh no. Oops, not it. Oh no. On the bone. And that is the inner of the 2 bones of the forearm. When viewed with the palm facing forward, the upper end of the ulna presents a large C-shaped notch, the semi-lunar, now we're getting, and let's see, and a simple isolated fracture of the ulna secondary to a direct blow can be treated with a cast in 4 to 6 weeks. And there we go. Okay. So yeah, I don't think she's going to be out of action long, but it's just getting a doctor to see her. That's the thing right now. So anyway, all good wishes and positive energy and love and healing to Cookie would be appreciated. And Michaela J says, just saw the comments. All I got to say is gotcha. Okay. And Tabitha Dibble Brown, mwah, good to see you this morning. Bone Cave, prayers for Cookie. I fell this morning too, bad sprained ankle. Oh, Tabitha, I'm so sorry. Shout out to my wonderful husband for taking care of me. God bless you too for caring for Cookie. I do. I'm a good husband. I am. I behave moderately. But no, she takes great care of me, and I try to do my best for her. So, and I'm not reading it, Sarah. Yes, it is moist out there. And you've just alienated Amy Hill. Why don't you sing Baby Shark while you're at it? And Michaela J says, okay, my day is complete. I stepped on a snake, and had another one slide across the dang yard in front of me. I'm done. God, yes. Good Lord. You want to borrow my wasp and have them fight each other to the death? Good Lord, Michaela, you're having a morning, darling. Hope it gets better. Comment number 1. Eric Hawkins says, school violence, video games. Yeah, great idea. I'll say I didn't know anything about it when the FBI shows up. Yeah, please do. Yeah, that's true. That the idea of school violence doesn't age well. Well, he could be like carrying like a rolled up newspaper or a Betamax copy of another John Hughes film. We can work around this, Eric. We can work around this. And I'm glad to see Keisha and Willow doing a show. I am too, Carl. I think that is going to be sensational because I'd watched Keisha's shows that she was doing in her home and tried to give her a tip or two, like I know anything about this. But anyway, she has the potential to be an amazing broadcaster. Willow is fulfilling her promise. She has improved immensely just in the short time we've known her. But she has grown in confidence, and her shows are always really, really interesting. She asks great questions. She's very engaging, and I love her to death. So 2 ladies I love. Same on the same show together. How could it get any better? Grant Lankard says, I couldn't have a job where there was a chance I might touch a snake. I'm like a less handsome version of Indiana Jones. Yeah, I'm the fat, decrepit version of him, too. I think the closest I've come to accidentally stepping on a snake, it was like a white snake back in Vermilion Grove. I was probably about 8 or 9, and my father pointed out, hey, there's a snake by your foot, because my dad was a caring sort like that. And I looked down, and I didn't say any of the words I use now. I wish I had them at my command, though. But next thing I know, I am running like a shot to get away from this monster. And it was only probably about 12 inches long, and probably more afraid of me than I was of it, which I don't know that was possible at the time. But anyway, and whoa, Michaela, time to go home. Fully agree with that. That's Michaela, get out of there. Get the hell out of there. And Kokomo, Indiana, I spent a year there one cold winter weekend since Donna, Carlene. I could say the same thing about St. Joe, Illinois. I got stuck there one night during the blizzard of 78, I think it was. I spent the night in that church just off the intersection of 150 and the exit from 74. It was an interesting night. Let's put it that way. Kokomo, Indiana. I love Kokomo. It's a pleasant enough town. And I've got to say, last year, Sean and Austin and everybody at KokomoCon made us feel incredibly safe at the show. I was really happy. But anyway, we've got that to look forward to 2 Saturdays from now. That's going to be so much fun. And here we go. Let's see. Okay, here we go. It's safe. The Legend of Traveling TARDIS, Marvel's new comic duo written by Brian K. Morris. Yeah. About a woman who puts on an outfit that makes her shrink to an insect and her nagging relative that makes cookies. Marvel's The Ant and the Wasp. There we go. Aunt May, Janet Van Dyne, the team up you've been waiting for. And is that the town that the Beach Boys were singing about, Donna? Asked Grant Lankard. Yes. And Joe Dog McGill, it's working. Woohoo! Yeah, it is. Or at least it was. I will be testing it probably either later today or tomorrow. But it did have the setup for it. So, and if any of you are wondering what we're talking about, get a StreamYard account. Oh, by the way, Joe Dog, I pulled the trigger yesterday and I got the StreamYard for a year rather than the monthly subscription, saving $40 a year in the process, making those Patreon dollars go farther, which means I can save up for other stuff. Unless I'm paying for cookies, medical bills, hope not. Anyway, I doubt it. But anyway, yes, it is working. Yeah, Joe Dog and I, like I said the other day, we text each other like teenage girls. It's like, do you hear what they said? Oh, yes, squee! And last Sunday was a great deal of revelations for StreamYard. For those of you who don't know, StreamYard is the service which we use, StreamYard.com. They have a free version and like a $20 version, then like a $40 version. We have the deluxe, so that we can broadcast on 8 different platforms at once, and we get like high def recordings of this extravaganza. It's just a lot of good things about it, and you can tie OBS to it. There is a process, and their customer service is fantastic. So check out StreamYard. And no, I get no commercial or no financial recompensation from them. Back in the Zero Box says, no show tonight. I have a date with some ghosts. Oh, congratulations, John. Say hello to the ghosts for me. Then I will then Eric and I, along with Clyde and Brian, will just have to review the comics ourselves. We'll miss you, John. And Carl Weston says, if you didn't see it, a time-space inversion caused Melanie to be pulled into the comments, and Uncle Carl appeared on camera. Timey-wimey antics. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that sounds like fun. I'm sorry I missed that show last night. I was busy prepping for my extravaganza with Roland Mann and the crew from Silverline Comics, which, by the way, how's it doing? Okay, they did pick up some more people. They are $615. Oh, wait, we just got an update. $565 away from their goal of $4,000. Check this out. I think I may still have it from last night. Let me check. Because I'm going to be pledging to this one. Yes, there it is. For Silverline Comics. There we go. Sorry about the shaking there, people. But anyway, we'll be posting that. And it's a great project. I'm really excited to look at that. And plus, you can get original art. And one of the thank you levels, and this is something you all ought to consider this. It'll be worth it. They are going to take a page of original comic book art that you will tell them what you want on it. And then what's going to happen is Peter Clinton, superb artist. Oh, my God. These guys and gals are so good. He is going to create a pencil drawing of your desired characters, whatever it will be spelled out in the terms of the Kickstarter. But the thing is, then he will take a scan of that and send it to Thomas Fioramonte Jr., who will then draw it with India ink, draw India ink over it. But meanwhile, Peter is sending the original piece of artwork that he worked on to America. And then when Thomas is done, he's going to scan it, and Roberta Conroy is going to color it, and they're going to make a high quality glossy print of it that only you will have a copy of. Now, the thing is, after Thomas is done, he's going to send it to Roland, just as Peter did. And then you are going to own an illustration where you have the original pencils, the original inks, because what Thomas is going to do is when he gets the art file, he's going to reproduce it in non-reproducible blue, which doesn't show up on cameras. And then he will ink that page. So you're going to get the pencils and the inks a separate, and you're going to get the colors and a beautiful print. And you are the only one who will own it. It's yours forever. All right. And it's going to be done on 11 by 17 art, I believe. It's going to be fantastic. So please check out this. Let me get this here. Let me get it. All right. And there it is. Check it out. The Rising Tide Publications page endorses it. Check it out on Kickstarter. It is, it's a good looking comic book, and it's all ages. It really is. PG-13 at worst for the superhero feature, featuring Miss Fury, who's a public domain character now. So anyway, please check it out. All right. Check out this link. And they have digital versions. It's going to be just really, really super. All right. And let's go back to your comments. And let's see. Here we go. And Carl Weston says that was on the Traveling TARDIS show last night. I thought so. And woo, wow, lots of waspy fun with BKM in the Uncle Carl's Secret Humor group. Yeah. Good thing I've got the Captain. The emotional shield's gonna take anymore. No, it was not a fun day for Brian. It's about 6 minutes of unrelenting hell, frankly. But we killed the critter. And if you're a big fan of wasps, tough. It's me or him, and I wasn't going to let it be me. Y'all don't want to see me die of anaphylactic shock on the air. The artwork of Bill Sarn on Facebook says, a wonderful Wednesday to the fuzzy, frolicking Fezman and all the gnarly Nevermorians. Count your blessings and invest them wisely. Thank you, Bill, for that. And check out the artwork of Bill Sarn on Facebook at SarnArt76. where he does all kinds of wonderful, wacky warm-up sketches, which you can purchase safely through PayPal. So check them out. And hashtag bring Cookie home already. Yeah, I know, Bill. It's like she can't be trusted to be out in the real world. She's damaging herself, and I still have use for her. Our worker Bill Sarn says the bird's the word when you get Cindy Kep's nice and nifty newsletter at ckoepp.com. It's really something to tweet about. It really is. I got my new issue the other day, and it is a joy to read. It is. It's going to be great. It is always great every month. And check out Animal Eye. Those are starting. The fulfillment is starting on the Animal Eye comic, which if you would participate in that Kickstarter, you would know about this stuff. That's the nice thing about Kickstarter. We get all kinds of new information. And congratulations to Dan Doherty and Seth DeMoose for finishing their fulfillment. I think except for a couple of the high-end items, they have finished their fulfillment on the Floppy Cop Kickstarter project, which I recommended a couple of comic book spectrums ago. Funny, dark humor. It's very adult, but not in that look, kids, boobies sort of way. It's humor that is it's really a funny series. It's one of the funniest series I've read in years. So please check it out. It's available now from sourcepointpress.com. Oh, excuse me. And there we go. Christian Basil says, hello to the more arise, catch the rising tides. Carl Witzman and Amy Hale on last night's Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We discussed characters who should have been companions, and you can subscribe to that channel on YouTube. You should do so. An RPG just doesn't stand for role-playing, Grams. Could be rocket-propelled grenades. You never know. Ooh, that would be fun. I could have used that against the wasp the other day. And the bones in the arm are the ulna and the radius. That's it. Yes, now that you mentioned it, I remember it now. I knew that the ulna was in the arm. And so far they say it looks like just a like a crack. It's not a full break, or at least that was the preliminary. But we're going to take her to a doctor and make sure it gets looked at properly. And sending healing prayers for Cookie. Bill Sarton, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Joe Dog McKeel, best scene in a movie trailer this year. A phone rings. A man picks it up and says, "We're closed." I used to do that at the comic shop I worked at. It was a family-run affair, and for years, the family that ran it would take a week off for a short vacation, and I would use that at first. I would use that week to like restock and clean and spiff things up. And he said, "Go ahead and answer the phone." And I said, "Okay, fine." So I answered the phone and told people we're closed, and everyone was like, "Well, what the hell are you doing there?" And one guy was really nasty about it. I said, "I'm robbing the place. Call the cops quick." They never did. Anyway, Willow Schuyler is sending Cookie good vibes. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. And much love for healing. Thank you, Willow. Thank you. I appreciate that so much, darling. You are an amazing woman. And you are an amazing human, Ted Davies Artistry. Good morning, all. Good morning to you. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you and Glenn B. Fleming talk about tonight on the Truth Mongers. I blanked out on the name last night. I was so tired last night. But anyway, the Truth Mongers is the newest jewel in the Rising Tide Broadcast Network crown. And you're going to dig it. You're going to dig the show. So please check it out. And Bender, I'm going to force the principal to watch 16 Candles. That's the sort of thing I think you probably would have to call Amnesty International about. That's just way above the pale, way beyond the pale as far as punishment goes. Actually, what is it? God, that was a John Cusack movie. God, I'm blanking on the name of it, and you guys will tell me. But it's one where he's constantly trying to kill himself. There was only one good line in that whole thing, and I'm just watching this thing going, "Oh dear, oh dear." Not my favorite movie. Anyway, the horror. I know. Or worse, he could watch The Terror with Boris Karloff and Jack Nicholson. A Roger Corman film that they had done one. Roger Corman, the director, had done one of his beautiful Edgar Allan Poe adaptations. I don't remember which one. He did a lot of great films based on the works of Edgar Allan Poe. But he still had the set, and he still had Nicholson and Boris Karloff under contract. So he basically just kind of came up with this story and had the two ad-lib scenes together, and then they wrote a movie around that. And I've seen it a couple times. It is not really good. And I tell people, in my opinion, and I tell people it probably takes longer to watch it than it did to make it. It was really, it was the only thing that saved it were Nicholson and Karloff, really. And Scott Crocker says, "Hey, I wish people wouldn't comment on stuff that they don't know about as an authority figure. In the video game Silent Hill, the school is closed. There are no children there." Well, there we go. See, then that would be the same with our Breakfast Club video game, that the school would be closed and just be these this one kid terrorizing it, which is pretty much close to school violence. And OMG did that 6 weeks minimum. Some call it the funny bone, but there ain't nothing about it. Hugs to Cookie. It sounds like it's just cracked. So she's just, and I did look it up, and it said that it, usually for most people takes 4 to 6 weeks, and she can do that. But dude, I'm sorry it happened to you, and I'm glad you're all right today. And don't make it sound like I'm some kind of psychopath or something. I'm not cool with that, yo. You are not a psychopath, and you're not a cryptid either. That's Nick Tockert. We love you, skunk. You are a furry, and we love you for your furriness, okay? And looking forward to working with Keisha. Yeah, she is a sweetheart. We spent the day with her at Peoria, in Peoria, Illinois, for the Indie Author Book Expo. And we talked, she and I talked online and everything, but she is as wonderful in person as she is on the air. If anything, she's even funnier and more delightful and beautiful. So two beautiful ladies, great subjects, Cryptid Crunch, really looking forward to it. And let me know, and Willow, please feel free to use the Rising Tide Broadcasting page, and Rising Tide, since Keisha's kind of semi-unofficially part of us, as are you, and also the Rising Tide Publications page to promote that show. Okay, feel free. And you almost stepped on White Snake, the animal, or the rock band. I like the rock band. I'd never step on Coverdale, man. He's got a great voice. And Joe Bachman, happy hump day, Nevermorians. Good to see you, Joe. We are having fun out here on US 31 today. The pipe we are removing tried to eat the excavator. Oh no. Well, I think I told you the story when I used to work for a construction company. Some of the guys were laying some pipe, and in the University of Illinois campus, and when they were trying to do the pressure test on it, it exploded, and a chunk of the cast iron came out and was about yay far from the guy's groin, but it did shatter his upper leg. He's fine now. A little bit of a limp, but he's fine. And I called the company about it to see what they would do. And they were like, well, just go ahead and, send us all the cost for the overtime to make up your gap. Let us know what the guy's expenses will be. We'll take care of that. He's very calm about it. And I said, dude, do you have like a quality control? Because I had heard other people in the industry saying, yeah, this pipe company, their stuff exploded here. It didn't hold up to pressure. And I said, do you have like a quality control? Could this have been avoided? And he goes, yeah, we used to have one, but that was costing too much. We finally did the math and said it is cheaper for us to pay the medical costs and to take care of any other incidental expenses associated with the inconveniences causes rather than hire a person to monitor the line. I'm like, damn, tell that to this guy's groin. Ted Davies Artistry, see you tonight at 7 p.m. on the Truth Mongers. Tonight, Ted and Glenn talk ancient giants that ruled the world. Hey, Ted, I think I reminded Glenn the other day, but there's an old Flash comics where he and Kid Flash go to Pangea, when there was just one continent. And they battled a race. It was like something about golden giants. I think it'd be fun for. I know he'll know about it, but it might be fun for both of you. And thank you for the art this morning, Ted. I do appreciate that. And Grant Lanker says, Donna, Carly, Carlene, I would hope the Beach Boys weren't singing about snowbound Kokomo. Yeah. Well, remember, Donna, that was the place also where somebody got a viral video of the Starbucks being destroyed by a tornado. The tornado touched down near the Starbucks, and it just folded like it was made of a deck of playing cards. So, but I like it because it's Geek Street. I love Geek Street. It's it's a city block in the downtown, and it's got Comics Cubed in Indiana, in Kokomo. Also, a great toy store, beautiful toy store. A used bookstore that's absolutely gorgeous, great atmosphere, and really well-priced books. They also have a music store and other things, and there's a couple of really good restaurants in the area. It's good place. We love it. Joe Dog McKeel says, yearly StreamYard is only the way to go. Bite the bullet on the front end, and you are not sweating the rest of the year if you can make the payments. Yeah, that's what I was figuring. And $40 a year, that's substantial enough. Or I think it was like 40. The only thing I didn't like was I only had 5 days to either take advantage of it or not. But no, I feel better having done so. So I'm happy for it. And as always, I'm excited for the team thing. The thing that should be coming out in a few weeks. I'm excited for that. I am so happy for that. And Will Schuyler says if we need to, we'll ask around the Rising Tide collection. We'll pass around the Rising Tide collection plate to ensure you and Cookie don't go broke from medical bills. Thank you. Yeah, I may need some. I may need that later on. So, and I knew what you meant. And seriously, fingers work. I swear, I'm good with my fingers. Anyway, Sarah says I showed up late to Clever Tile Pending. They say how long Silverline Comics has been around. Well, actually, Silverline as as a packager has been around since the late 80s. I took it downstairs and reincorporated it in my collection, but the comic I held up to amaze Roland, which it seemed to have done, it was published in 1988, and they've been packaging comics ever since and using some really high-class talent, seriously. So, they've been around a good long time, and there was a time when Roland kind of like left comics, but found he couldn't, that comics never left him. And so that's why he turned to Kickstarter, which I promote it because, one, I want the good projects to get some airtime, and secondly, these are my friends, these are my peeps, and I'm happy to help them in their enterprise. In fact, we've got another person next week who's got a Kickstarter going, and that is let me make sure I get it right, Charles Santino, and looking forward to meeting him on the air and having a good time. So anyway, so it's been around a good long time, and they've worked with some of the top names of the industry. And we were talking about the multiverse, or the Ultraverse rather. That was a thing from Malibu Comics. Malibu also gave us the original comic Men in Black that the movie was based on, although the two are not all that similar up to a point. They were also the first place that published Rob Liefeld's Youngblood, and they were going to be, it sounds like I think they were going to be publishing the work of the people that eventually formed Image Comics. But they worked with people at Silverline at the Ultraverse, like Mike W. Barr, who wrote Batman for a long time, Steve Gerber, who created Howard the Duck, Mike Plug, who co-created Werewolf by Night, former assistant to Will Eisner, James Robinson, who wrote the Golden Age and the classic Starman run. Great stuff. Great stuff. And it was a really exciting, cohesive world, very much like the early Marvel Age of Comics. And I'm sorry it's not around anymore. But they also had Larry Niven, the science fiction writer, as kind of like their science guru to make sure that worked out. So anyway, and we have Damian Waldbrun with us. Damian, good to see you this morning. Hope you're having a great one. At least you don't have a video to fill time when the Yellow Bombardiers, at least you have a video to show when the Yellow Bombardiers attack. Yeah, we're prepared for that. We're going to set it and run. I got to find a way. I'm going to try to create a video where it's like on a loop. That we can put in here and just keeps running until I turn it off, if possible. If not, I'll make like a 20-minute version of it. Thank you so much for that animation. We will hopefully not have to use it, but we will, I'm sure, for other things. And I was looking at something else and heard boobies. That got my attention. Well, back in the cereal box, we know what'll get you back in here. You've revealed your secret weakness to us. And Doris Jones, Labors of Love. Love your videos, darling. Mwah. Good morning to you. Good to see you. And Hairspray works great for stinging insects because it glues their wings together. But I'm sure the cashier would have a great reaction of a bald guy buying Hairspray. I actually have some. Hairspray. But I would use it like when, it's from back when I was doing community theater. I still have like sideburns and stuff. I've got something better now. But yeah, I'd have hairspray around here. I'm sure I've got hairspray. Sometimes I use it on my wigs. So anyway, prayers for Fasting Only for Cookie. Thank you, Damien. Much appreciated. Amy Hale, love and prayers for Cookie. Thank you so much, Amy. Love you, darling. And Ted Davies Artistry. Good health to Cookie and you, BCam. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And, back at you, my man. And thank you to everyone back at, may the good vibes come to all of you. And that scene is from the new Ghostbusters trailer, by the way. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't watched that in a long time. I haven't seen a new one. I saw some people complain about it. They were like, it doesn't look very funny. I don't think it's going to suck. It's going to be awful. It'll be the worst movie ever made. The usual fan people who watch like 5 minutes of that Masters of the Universe thing that Kevin Smith did, and they've now declared that their childhoods are ruined, or I didn't know anything about it, but this is just as bad as the original, or worse. It's like, I've had it with ill-informed internet opinions. And Sarah, ooh, I have a graphic novel, trade paperback of Edgar Allan Poe's works. Very cool book. I love Poe. I remember getting a Classics Illustrated with a 3 or 4 stories by Edgar Allan Poe in it, and one of them was The Gold Bug. I remember that one. I think The Purloined Letter was another, and I don't remember what the fourth one was, but the other one was A Cask of Amontillado. That's an intense story for a kid to be reading. That is one of the scariest stories ever. Back in Stereo Box says, and John is getting banned from Facebook groups because I enjoyed the new Masters of the Universe series. You monster. You monster. You actually like that thing? I haven't seen it, and I'm outraged.
How dare you?
See, it's like, God, John, how do you live with yourself? That's all I'm asking. Anyway, keep up the good work. And Ted Davies Artistry, see Ted's top 5 ugly watches online this Thursday at 10 a.m. as Ted talks timepieces. And good morning, Nevermorians. Good morning to you, Rick Bradley. Hope you're having a great, great morning. Joe Bachman, the operator wasn't wearing his brown pants when it collapsed. Luckily, he started moving quickly and didn't tip it over. Yeah, seriously. Oh, man. Yeah, I've seen, that reminds me of some old videos I watched when I was at the construction place. And it did happen to one of our operators where they had a backhoe that slid down a hill and couldn't get up under its own power. So they got a crane they had a crane truck. They were pulling it up, and the crane truck went about halfway down the hill, too. That was sticky. Eric Hawkins, Golden Giants, is that where golden showers came from? Those are the things that come in April and bring the flowers in May. Yes, Eric, it is. And Joe Bachman, I'll have a video of the whole up on my YouTube and TikTok later today. Ooh, something to look forward to. I love a good train wreck. And Joe Bachman, Eric Hawkins, I don't think I would hit like a shower, more like a waterfall. Well, while these guys work it out, Kokomo needs a magic shop on Geek Street. Back of the cereal box, you're right. And it would fit right in. It seriously would. I think there's also or at least there was a restaurant on there. It may have gone under due to COVID, but there's some good places to eat. There's a real nice Irish pub across the way that's got some sensational food. But yeah, John, you need to hire somebody to work the place. I'm busy. But anyway, Historical Fencing Guild. It is good to see a Nicholas Anthony Talker. Good morning, Nevermorians. Hope your every day is better and more profitable and good with your fingers. Oh my, yes. And the artwork of Bill Sarton says, yesterday when Laura and I were in Chicago, we stopped by Big Sammy's restaurant in Elk Grove Village to have supper, and the parking lot was packed for blocks. We found out that the Beach Boys were having a free concert in Elk Grove, and it was great eating burgers and onion rings while listening to the Beach Boys. Great way to end the day, man. Somebody at Gordyville used to always say, it don't get any better than this. I'm telling you, that sounds like a good time. Glad you got to have that experience, Bill. Seriously. And didn't Malibu do the coloring for all the image books in the beginning? Asked Eric Hawkins. I don't know that they did. I know Steve Oliff did a lot of it, and Steve had worked for Marvel extensively in the 80s. No, what happened there, they had a proprietary computer coloring system. It was one of the first to be used in comics. Well, and Roberta Conroy could answer this question better, but around 93, 94, as Marvel was preparing for bankruptcy, it was basically pre-bankruptcy Marvel. Yes, Marvel almost folded its tents in the 90s because of bad money management. But anyway, they bought Malibu Comics, specifically, they said, for that computer coloring system. And I think when they started using it, they sucked at it. Everything was like kind of soft and fuzzy, and I really didn't like what they did with it. Wasn't anywhere near as what Roberta and other people were doing at Malibu. But another reason I heard was to and this is just what I've heard. I'd have to ask Roland and see if he would have a more insight than I do. But part of it was to capture that market share. Marvel did publish the Malibu books for a time, but and then I think a couple of the original founding fathers of the Ultraverse launched lawsuits about profit participation, and that I don't think it went anywhere. But anyway, it got tied up. Marvel got the coloring system. So that's why I like the business of comics now. I have to ask Roland about that. I did extend an invitation to all four of those wonderful people from Silverline to come back on the show, even when they don't have something to promote. Historical Fencing Guild, prayers for Cookie as always. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my brother. And what's wrong with Cookie? I hope whatever it is, things improve ASAP. Love you guys. Love you too, Rick. It was so good seeing you this last weekend. No, she fell down at work just as she was leaving and cracked her ulna. And we are not thinking it's a break. It may just be a crack, but it hurts nonetheless, my poor girl. And I love the new Masters of the Universe. I actually would like to see it. Kevin Smith hits more than he misses. And yeah, I know he said years ago that he didn't care for the Masters of the Universe, the original Masters of the Universe. Which also I can see it's an acquired taste, like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I'm not a huge fan of the Morphin Power Rangers. But people do like it, and I don't fault them for it. I think that's great. I don't see why people have to pee all over everybody else's fandoms. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I hope it comes out on Blu-ray. I would like to see it. The Beach Boys was my first concert I went to as a child. I remember my sister wanting to go dance near the stage, says Willow Schuyler. One of the band members reached down to shake our hands. Oh, that's beautiful. When Cookie and I were with Amway back in the 90s, there was a big convention put on by one of the bigwigs in the organization that was in Atlanta, Georgia. And we got to see Mike Love and the Beach Bums. And he spent about an hour singing old Beach Boy songs. And it was fantastic. I don't think any other members of the Beach Boys were with him. Because I know that for a while there were like two distinct Beach Boys. I think it was like Mike was touring with Bruce Johnson, and then Al Jardine had his own version of, it was Al Jardine's Beach Boys, and then I think Mike was just touring as the Beach Boys. And then they had that big get-together back, I think in 2012, I think it was, or so, when Brian Wilson actually rejoined, and Dennis Marks, who was Al Jardine's kind of like bookmark, his placeholder in the band on the earliest records. And that was some great music, too. I love the Beach Boys. I grew up loving the Beach Boys. I love them to this day. I still can listen to anything they do. And if only Marvel had access to Paint.net as the Historical Fencing Guild. Yeah. I mean, they've got their act together a little more these days as far as coloring and production goes. But yeah, I hated when Photoshop was first discovered by a lot of comic artists and magazines. It's like you can do 10,000 things with Photoshop. I don't want to see all of it on one page. For about 6 months, Wizard magazine was virtually unreadable. And there's another so-called comics historian who does the same thing. He does all these sophisticated graphics, and you can barely read them because he's doing all these flashy effects. But the goal, maybe I'm, as an occasional art director, the goal is readability. That's, it's got to be good for the viewer. And it isn't about the art director showing off. Anyway, Sarah says, I cracked my right eye socket. Trust me, it hurts as bad as a break. Well, I don't doubt that it hurts. She was not very comfortable when I checked on her before the show, but we will be taking care of her, Sarah, I promise. And that seems to be the staple of all fandoms, peeing in them, whether it is justified or not, says Eric Hawkins. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's such a shame. I try my best. I've even stopped making fun, mostly, of 50 Shades of Grey. There are people that love that book, and I don't want to kink shame. I don't even want to atrocious writing shame, but yeah, it's just like you post something like, I like this, and sure enough, you're going to get 200 people telling you what an idiot you are. That's I don't even share a lot of opinions about fandom on my page. I'll post other people's things so people can get mad at the original poster. Eric Bradley says, if you want, you can use my Netflix to watch it. Ooh, might take you up on it. And Jake, and let's see, back in the Sarah box, Jake, I'll get your comment. We had a little jump there. For anyone actually interested in learning about how to create a career podcasting/broadcasting and build your network, you really must join Clubhouse. It's open to everyone now. I've got to take the time to sign up. And thank you for that invite back at the Cereal Box, johnpica.com, for all things magic and writing. Also, check out Nightreich, available right now on Amazon. I've got it in my Amazon queue from the download, and I am so looking forward to that. Oh, and John, I may have some questions later about the people that were next to me at Imaginarium. Because in case you got your book thing from them, just a little bit of warning, or I should say a little caution that we would share. Anyway, remind me to write you about that sometime. And Eric Hawkins, everything is awesome and nobody's happy about it. That should go on a poster, John. That is so accurate. Sarah says there are 4 50 Shades books and 3 movies. I have them all. And see, good for you. Just because they're not my cup of tea, that doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't enjoy them. There's a lot of stuff, like romance books. Until I read Kathy Jackson's Yours to Love, I didn't like any of them. Then I read hers. Then I read Amy Hale's first book, and then I read a couple other people, and I'm like, damn, this is good. Oh, by the way, I left a review a couple days ago for Evolution Man by Charles F. Milhouse. If you are a fan of The $6 Million Man or the writing of Martin Caidin, you've got to check out that book. It is super, super good. And preach about readability, says the Historical Fencing Guild. I bought that book on lettering, and it was nearly unreadable for being so busy. Yeah, and there's a lot of good information. I take it you're meaning this one. Yeah, there's a lot of good information, but a lot of it is just like this. I don't mind so much. This page, I kind of do. You can't really see it on screen. Actually, this is not the worst example of it, but like something like this. There's a reason why they say you shouldn't use more than 3 fonts on a page, and there's a good reason why. Most of my graphics, I use 2, if that. So anyway, so yeah, there's some good information on it, but I don't, I don't know that I'm going to be needing it since I don't know Photoshop. Eric Hawkins says, you got the people that get upset, sometimes justified, then people that like a fandom are no better than by pissing on the people they get upset. It's a pissy circle. Yeah, that's it. And I see so much of it in fandom anymore that it's terrible. It is terrible. I mean, when I was, growing up, we had the Marvel versus DC thing. Now that's not so prevalent. I don't see as much of, one company uber alles. So, but yeah, it's like, why, if you don't enjoy it, just move on. In fact, Jim Beard frequently will post, the great writer and publisher Jim Beard posts frequently stuff that he watches, things he enjoys, and he has to put in there, don't be putting negative comments in here. Just, if you like it, comment. If you don't, keep it to yourself. And I've had to do that on a couple things I've posted, that I know that I can anticipate that somebody's going to get snotty about it. And I'll be like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want this on my page. And so I warn people, and I will enforce, and I have enforced it. If you get that warning and you come on because you think you're important, your opinion is more important than anyone else's that enjoys the thing, you don't need to be on my page. You don't need to be on my friends list either. I have blocked people as a result. So mean. Oh, I'm so mean. And it's not all about BDSM. I'm hoping you're talking about 50 Shades of Grey and not real life. Anyway, yeah, I know it's more than that. It's kind of like a romantic novel more than anything. And what was the jump in the comments? Well, we're getting to it now, Jake Lindsay. And is your full schedule up on risingtide.pub for my appearances? Or my appearances will be in the newsletter. And I share periodically on my Patreon page. My full schedule is in real life. Robert Beatty, Kevin Smith lied. Hashtag Kevin Smith lied. Hashtag salesmanship. Hashtag he's a professional. Hashtag you throw money at me and I'll write the next 50 Shades of Grey. All right. Seriously. The producers came to, and the fact that, Kevin Smith found something that people are enjoying. It's like, I don't, and people's opinions can change. It's like, I used to hate Ren and Stimpy. Now I watch it, I'm like, this is kind of funny. Same with Beavis and Butthead. When it was on originally on MTV, I'm like, this is the stupidest damn thing ever. But occasionally there was some good stuff on there. And there's stuff I've changed my opinion about. Kevin Smith is entitled to change his mind. It's like science. You get more evidence and you're entitled to change your mind. So Kevin Smith is now a god unto men. So there. Actually, he made Dogma. The movie Dogma. I can forgive him just about anything. Eric Hawkins, just like what you like or not, and let people have their own opinions as well. Whether it is comics, tunes, movies, or politics, let people have their own opinions. Just like the opinions you can find on Comic Book Spectrum every Thursday night at 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Central, starring myself, Eric, Brian, and Clyde, because it's awesome. And occasionally this wonderful guy here, too, Joe D. McPhee from the desk of Small Press Publisher. Good to see you, Joe. I'm lurking, but can't really talk now, so morning all and have a great Wednesday. Back to the 9 to 5. Dude, our prayers are with you, my friend. And check out the back, check out from the desk of Small Press Publisher. I'm getting my pages confused here. Check it out on Saturday night, 10 p.m. Joe D. McPhee is a great host, super host, and he often has great interviews with comic creators, or he'll have drawing sessions, which are exciting to watch, or he'll have comic reviews, which are wonderful, thought-provoking interviewer. Check him out because he's amazing. And Jake Lindsay says, I'm sorry I put all those questions on at once. I got in late, so there wasn't questions, so I wanted him to have questions. Well, I appreciate that, Jake. Thank you for helping out. I do appreciate that. It's just that Roland, by the time you posted them, Roland had left, and you directed them to Roland, and I didn't feel right about giving them to the general cast here. And we didn't get all the comments last night. The key is make them relevant to the people watching, or my guests on there. So occasionally there were a couple of questions. I do have to apologize to Ryan Permison too. He posted some questions and I didn't get back to them because I wanted to get these guys on their way. Not everybody can hang out for 4 or 5 hours like me and Bobby Nash, who will be returning to Clever Tile Pending in just a couple of weeks. It'll be fun because he is fun. And I just cracked my microphones on the anyway. So I'm moving back into the camera there so you know what's going on. Anyway, no, don't apologize for that, Jake, and I appreciate you trying to help. I really do. It's just timing. And Will Schuyler saying you don't like something that has a cult following is like pulling the pin of a grenade and waiting for the huge explosion of crying fanboys to jump down your throat. Boy, is that not the truth. Yeah, and the thing is, there's so many trolls out there that all they want to do is pee on somebody's fandom because they want the attention. It's like, hey, 5 seconds, I'm relevant. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're just contrary. And there's a lot of psychology in the 50 Shades series. Pretty interesting. Well, okay, psychology I like. I can get behind that. And apologies. Obviously, I'm at work like usual, so I missed part of this. What did Kevin lie about? Asks the skunk cracker. Well, I know it might be something else. But I know that a lot of people took him to task because he gave an interview several years ago. Hi, honey. How you doing? Okay, you're feeling better? Okay, love you. Everyone says their love and prayers to you. Well, they can probably hear you.
Thank you very much.
That was her. So I don't have to shoot her because she's got a busted limb. And Cookie's like, don't take that off the plate, right? Yeah, I hear you. We'll get you better, woman. We'll heal you up. Anyway, getting back to Kevin Smith, apparently he gave an interview where he said there were things he didn't like, and the original Masters of the Universe was one of them. Big deal, and then they hired him because you know what? Kevin Smith is a professional writer, a professional filmmaker. And the fact that he could find something that, from what I'm hearing, this is really good stuff. And what I'm hearing, well, it's all about Tila. It's not about He-Man. I don't care if it's all about Cringer. I love the original Masters of the Universe. I'm excited that they're bringing him back. I'd rather have a bad version of it than no version of it all, because every generation deserves their own. Well, there was that 90s Masters of the Universe that wasn't so great, but we still have the originals. And by the way, check out the originals. If you get I see the box sets now of the original Masters of the Universe series. And if you pick it up, watch the interviews. The interviews are sensational. They were produced by my friend Andy Mangles. And if you look at the transcriber credits at the end of the interviews, you may see a familiar name. Yes. Anyway, so I think that's it. That supposedly once you express an opinion about something, you are that forever. Just like with James Gunn, when he years ago made some jokes, which at the time weren't recognized as anti-gay slurs. And now we know better. He knows better, and he apologized, and he came back. But this is what the whole cancel culture is about. And it's not just the social justice warriors. And Will Schuyler says he apparently wasn't honest about his plans for Masters of the Universe. Oh, that one. Okay, that too. Here's the thing. You want to see lives? Follow Doctor Who. They will outright lie to you about what's coming up. Because here's this thing. The filmmakers want you to be surprised when you see it. They want you to sit in the theater or sit in your living room or wherever you view their work and be surprised. Okay, this is the part where we find out that Rosebud's the sled. And for a lot of people, they take their spoilers seriously. And so a lot of production companies now will lie by omission. A lot of them will lie about what they're doing just so the people will be surprised pleasantly. It's called marketing, and some people don't seem to understand that. And it's this, the usual fanboys are going to be like, well, they told me too much, they've ruined it for me, or they didn't tell me anything about it, I don't want to watch it, and it's ruined for me, so it sinks. And too murder Orko and kill He-Man twice as black. Robert Beatty, have you not read comic books or seen movies or watched television in the last 50 years? In creativity, there is no such thing as dying. There is a revolving door at the pearly gates. And look how, Doctor Who cheats death every 3 years or so. How many times have characters died, like in the CW shows, and then come back? And in comics, good Lord, no one stays dead. The only person that has stayed dead is Uncle Ben. I mean, Laura, and maybe Laura Jarrell. Even Jarrell came back from the dead during Rebirth. It's not, and blasphemy is a pretty hard line to take about it. Robert, I will send you a Google dictionary or something about what blasphemy really means. I mean, that's a little strong. There are much bigger things to get upset about. Like Cindy kept waiting till this long to be here. Cindy, mwah, howdy y'all, how are you? Pillow pants. No, don't you start, Sarah. And there was some questions I put in for everyone. Okay, I didn't see those. I just saw the ones that were addressed to Roland. So, says Skunk Rocker. Well, the more you know, right? And that is why. And watch this. I loathe Power Rangers, says Back of the Cereal Box. I'm not a huge fan of them. I did try watching the originals, and I was just not in the frame of mind to appreciate them at the time. I was a little older than the demographic. Now, I've met one of the guys that created it. He's a terrific person. God bless him. But, I don't, just because I don't watch the Power Rangers doesn't mean I fault anyone for doing so. And if someone says they don't like the Power Rangers, that's fine. They don't like the Power Rangers. You say you don't like Doctor Who? Oh, well, I've got dear friends who don't care for Doctor Who. And I'm like, that's fine. We got other things to talk about. And I don't wear headphones during this show. I don't wear headphones during the show either. And do you guys have to keep bringing up fan urination? Be right back. That was an entry from Carl Tiny Bladder Witzman, and we hope you come back soon. Give a Nazi a boot to the snoot when you buy the Smashwords version of the original Skyman Battles Master Steam. Thank you, Cindy. And you're you're welcome very much, Cookie. Thank you, Sarah. We will get those logistics going. And I do too, Back of the Cereal Box. And Kevin Smith fixed Masters of the Universe. There we go. Well, he made it palatable for a new generation, if nothing else, and like I keep saying, I don't begrudge things like New 52. I don't begrudge things like, reboots of old properties. Yeah, maybe I would rather see something a little more original or something that is inspired by the originals, but, more power to these people. Nothing says I have to watch them, and it's just a waste of my energy and time pissing on people that we've used that word a lot this morning, haven't we? I may have to go too. I've got to get my hail pail and my pod catheter ready, new from Rising Tide Industries. I may have to get that ready. But yeah, it's like, what is the point? You're not going to convince somebody they're wrong for enjoying something. I mean, as long as it doesn't involve children and doesn't scare the livestock, I don't give a damn what you do, really. But irreverent humor, I care about that. And I care about Cindy Kep, CKOEPP.com, best newsletter in the world. And check it out. That is Amazon for Santa Stein, my international big-time seller. And Fighting Axes, you want Nicholas Anthony Tucker's work, available now on Amazon because he's awesome. And Night Reich, the superb book of The Impossibilist from John B. Pike. I'm so looking forward to tearing into that thing. That's going to be so much fun. But you can get it now on Amazon, and you should. And you will love Orko's story arc, Brian. Thank you, back of the cereal box. I love Orko. I love Orko with a white-hot passion. And we love you, Cookie. Keep Cookie home in 50 Shades of Bubble Wrap. Oh, now we're getting freaky. Historical Fencing Guild every Friday night at 8 p.m. He'll get freaky with bladed weapons and his backdrop. Rick Bradley, I know if someone doesn't like one of my fandoms, I'll still sleep at night. And if someone expresses interest in it, I welcome them with open arms. Same with me. It's like, I'd rather... Why close so many doors? You know how many wonderful conversations I've had by just going up, wearing this at shows, and people say, fezzes are cool. I've had some wonderful conversations that way. It's like, why take the time to troll other people? It's a waste of, it's kind of like the old thing they used to say about teaching a pig to sing. It wastes your time and it annoys the pig. All you're doing is annoying other people. And if you want, their attention, there's better ways to do it. Cindy Kemp says, hey, check out The Legend of Traveling TARDIS while we're talking about Doctor Who. The Legend of Traveling TARDIS every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Check it out. It's Historical Fencing Guild. There needs to be a statute of limitation for dumb remarks. Oh, I just want there to be a death penalty for really stupid ones. And with the fanboys like Dolph Lundgren to come back as He-Man, ask Will Schuyler, I thought that was a decent movie. I think it was wasn't the first movie that Courtney Cox was in? And Frank Langella, OMG. Frank Langella can do anything as far as I'm concerned. Of course, the great Dracula film. Oh, God, was he good in that. And I also I've got it on VHS. It was a great performance. It was Broadway. He was playing Sherlock Holmes. And Dwight Schultz of Star Trek The Next Generation and the A-Team was Watson. It was brilliant. He was so commanding, so masterful. And of course, he made a terrific Perry White in Superman Returns. Kevin Smith said the show was about He-Man. It was just not the way fans expected, says back in the cereal box. That's true. And, that's the same way. Captain America, when he got shot 10 years ago, they didn't cancel the magazine, you'll notice. When Superman was killed back in the 90s with Doomsday, they didn't cancel the comics, you'll notice. It doesn't have to be about the character itself. In fact, some of the best Doctor Who episodes have been about not the Doctor. The Doctor is minimally in it, like Blink. But how does the Doctor exert influence on other people? In fact, many of the shows are about people following the Doctor's heroic example and stepping up beyond what they thought they could. It's, that sort of storytelling is exciting. And do you really think Filmation is going to let anyone kill off one of their major breadwinners? There was a giant size Funko Pop made of He-Man. There was a new line of He-Man Funko Pops, not of He-Man, but She-Ra is in there. I want to pick one of those up. And Scary Fist Skeletor or whatever. But it's still a moneymaker. They still make comics periodically featuring the Masters of the Universe. Filmation is not going to let you kill off their character. That, or at least not permanently. That's, the reason why the minute Superman died in Batman v Superman, You knew Superman was coming back. Even back in the 90s, it amazed me. It's like, oh no, Doomsday's going to kill Superman. He's gone forever. It's like, how long have you been reading comic books? Get some history, all right? And Cindy Kemp says, you want some history? You got to check out the Dastardly Dingoes. They are worth listening to. They are amazing, and they love your fandom, whatever it is. So check out their great podcasts. They are sensational. And Cindy Kemp goes on to say, Nerd Culture, you got it, with Ryan Permison. He runs a great show, and I quote, noons on Saturdays, and you could be a guest. He's looking for guests for 2022. And Small Press Publishers at the Desk. That is that YouTube address there every Saturday night at 10 p.m. from the Desk with Small Press Publisher. Thank you, Cindy. And Rick Bradley, James Gunn made trauma movies. Of course, he was crass AF. Now he's an amazing guy who his actors defend all the time. Yeah, that was the one thing I loved to see when James Gunn got fired from Marvel for comments he made ages ago. How many of us have made comments online we now regret because we've had our eyes open? I've got a lot of stuff to apologize for, and I do, but it's this idea that the one thing I don't like about one of the many things I don't like about cancel culture, whether it's done on either side of the aisle, is that there is no room for forgiveness. There is no room for people becoming enlightened. Okay? I mean, how many of us have used that, insult? Oh, that's so gay. I used it too back in the day. But then I sat down and I thought, that's, how would I feel if somebody was using it? That's so fat, not PHAT, but overweight. That's so overweight. That's so obese, that's so male. That's so bald. That's so comic book fan. Some of those are milder than others, but it just dawned on me it was not a really kind thing to say, so I expunged it from my vocabulary, and I changed my mind, and cancel culture doesn't allow for that. But yeah, I love the fact that James Gunn had built up so much loyalty from his cast that, I remember Dave Bautista was going to say, I'm looking into breaking my contract if he doesn't come back. And it sounds like he's done the same thing on the Suicide Squad movie. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And someone I'm always looking forward to see, Bloodwing Angel, next issue from John Celestri. Good morning. Good to see you. Comic books and animation stories are fiction. These stories are supposed to be fun. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with having a little drama in there. I remember an Alvin and the Chipmunks cartoon that disturbed the heck out of me when I was a kid. And it was basically Alvin has a dream where he goes on, he wants, he feels that Dave Seville and Simon and Theodore are holding him back. And so he becomes, in his dream, this huge star. And then the end of the cartoon, he sees Simon Theodore and Dave Seville on a corner begging for money, and they're hungry and they're freezing, their clothes are torn. And Dave, it kind of implies that Dave Seville dies there, and this upset the hell out of me. I still don't like that cartoon for that reason. It scared me crapless. But I remember it after 60 years too. So, but in measured amounts. But yeah, on the whole, this stuff is supposed to be fun. And Neuro, see, you can get that. The new book by Amy Hill. It's a fantastic read. Check it out from Amazon. Thank you, Cindy Kemp. And Mangles is a perfect last name. Mangling someone in horror movies or something pop into mind. I'm friends with a girl whose last name is Evil Sizer. Ooh, I'd rock that one. I had her to prove she married someone with that last name. Sure enough, it was legit. I thought it was an epic last name. Yes, honey? Oh, okay, honey. Sure, I made a fresh pot. Always, but I can come and get it. Yes, I can, woman. You're flying with a broken wing.
I'm not flying. I already did that.
Good point. You got me with that one. I have been skewered by that woman again. Anyway, yeah, that is an epic last name. It's there are some days I think my own name is so boring. It's like I should, it's like that one episode of Doctor Who where the doctor reveals that he speaks baby, like Sugar and Spike, and that there is this one baby. It was the second James Corden episode where the baby wants to be something like Murder Fist McIron or something like that. I don't remember the name, but it was something really evil and majestic, and he wanted everyone to respect his choices. So anyway, that is cool. That is cool. Thank you, Sarah. Bless you, honey. And I know the perfect place where you and John should go ghost hunting, the death side of Bonnie and Clyde, says Jake Lindsay. That would be fun. That would be fun. John, you and I need to go to Bachelors Grove. You and I should make that journey one day. And I know it'd be a drive for you, but it's like about 3 hours, a little less than 3 hours for me, given traffic. Best time it goes on Sunday, less traffic. And Scott Crocker says, I got nothing. I only know one thing about Masters of the Universe, and that there is a skunk character. That's all I know. Stinkor, I believe it was. Here, I'll make it easy for you. Doing okay? Oh, you ASMR fans. Oh my gosh. Thank you, sweetheart. Love you. Mwah. Everyone loves you too. They do. But yeah, actually the first season Skunk is kind of standard cartoon for that time. You know, bad guy starts a plot with somebody else who's also a toy. He-Man fights without any real violence. Then He-Man comes out and gives you a life lesson, and see you tomorrow, kids. The second season, we got this from doing these interviews with Paul Dini and other great people that worked on the original series. And it turns out that the first season, everyone's like, this was pretty solid stuff. Why don't we get a little weird? And so they proceeded to, and they even had one episode that I think it was Skeletor was hit with a paralysis ray, which was kind of like a little jibe at the limited animation that that was prevalent in the industry, especially at Filmation, where it's like this one scene of Skeletor, and he's like, I cannot move anything. I am left frozen. Curse you, He-Man. And it's like that way through most of the episode. It was hilarious. There was just a lot of meta stuff in that second season that unfortunately the show didn't survive to, another season, but they were on the right path of that one. And Michaela Jade's got a trilogy of Warriors stories that you need to read because she is so awesome. And Robert Beatty, I like the original Power Rangers. Hey, that's good. Seriously. Like I said, I tried to watch them. It wasn't my glass of Guinness, but good for you. I'm glad people enjoy that stuff. And I admit I had a chance to interview one of the later Power Rangers over the weekend at Muddy Monster Minicon, but the actor was on a tight schedule and couldn't make it down to where we were, so I didn't get to talk to him. But I was interested because I did my research and found like there's this legacy of shows. I knew there were different programs, but seeing how they kind of tied to each other through common characters, such as various Red Rangers. This character, Jason Fonts in particular, he was like in half a dozen of the series, and I think he's going to be in the new movie that's being worked on. And the new movie, am I going to see it? Probably not. Do I want it to succeed? I'd love it to succeed. I want those fans to have what makes them happy. And I'm not going to say, well, they're not going to, show Amy Jo Johnson, very prevalently. So this show's going to suck and everything before it and ever will be sucks afterwards. So I'm not going to inflict my ill-informed opinion on people because I don't know everything about it. Especially since I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen anything resembling a trailer, but no, I love the concept of Power Rangers, and I've read some of the comics. Good for people. And you want poetry? You want Teresa Dunn, and I think she's supposed to have a show tonight with Willow Schuyler. It's tomorrow night. Excuse me, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Please watch that just prior to Comic Book Spectrum. But she has 2 volumes of Poetry Expressions, and she's hard at work on finishing the 3rd. So please check them out on Amazon. Jolt on Amazon Prime is a great action movie. Kate Beckinsale is a badass and would give John Wick a run for his money. I like Kate Beckinsale. she's got the chops to act. She really does. And there's a lot of stuff I'm missing out on, Joe Dog. I may have to get a subscription service for, like a different one every month. And Hysterical Fencing Guild, that's the Historical Fencing Guild, young lady. Get it right. But what Nick Tucker does is hysterical. Check him out every Friday at 8 p.m. And Scott Crocker says, I guess it says a lot about me that while other kids are watching G.I. Joe and Transformers and He-Man and all that stuff, I stuck to Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies. Brother, there will never, ever be anything wrong with Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies. I grew up on that. And Tom and Jerry, when they hated each other and tried to kill each other, that's classic cartoons there. There's a reason why we're still watching it today, because the stuff is so good. And it's still funny, and it holds up because they work through truths that we all share, regardless of the technology. So it says a lot about you, Skunk. It does, and it's good, man. It is seriously good. And Cindy Kemp says, this weekend is CromCon, starting Friday night on the Comics Madness channel with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube and on Facebook. Also, Comic Madness. Join the madness with Pops Van Zandt and CromCon. It's going to be a great time. And Scott Crocker says, give me Pepe Le Pew and Wile E. Coyote over Optimus Prime any day. Yep. I would agree. Transformers was pretty good. My favorite was Masters of the Universe. I liked G.I. Joe a lot. I love the first G.I. Joe animated film was, I think it was with Sergeant Slaughter. That was fantastic. Especially that one scene where, he yells out, something like, we all go or none of us go, just before he rescues everyone. That was great. And speaking of great, Luke Stone Studios. Also, Luke has a show on Tuesday nights that runs opposite Clever Tile Pending, but please check it out as well, because Luke Stone's a great guy, and he's working hard for those hybrids, the Sons of God's money. He's doing it right. And ditto, Skunk. Yeah, and I grew up on that stuff. That was the stuff I watched before the Power Rangers and things. I loved my Saturday mornings and classic, and I was also at the right age for the classic Hanna-Barberas like Space Ghost. OMG. Now, I didn't like Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I didn't think it was blasphemy because I knew what the word meant. But I don't worship Space Ghost. But those beautiful Alex Toth designs on that cartoon were just amazing. And Johnny Quest with Doug Wildey. Oh, God, that was my golden age of cartoons. Also the Superman, Aquaman, Power Hour, the Impossibilist, Frankenstein Jr., the Herculoids, Birdman, Super President. Well, they can't all be gems. Anyway, yeah, that's good stuff. And more than powerful stories, that's Bear Publications, who also publish Animal Eye, Cindy Kep's brand new book. Please check it out and keep an eye out for that Animal Eye comic book coming out soon. And back in the cereal box, would you want a ghost hunt there? Asked Jake Lindsay. I think it'd be interesting. The only problem with that, and John can, I'd welcome John's opinion on this. Sometimes you don't want to go to popular places. Somebody was telling me about one of those ghost hunting shows that went to like a hotel and there was a ghost occupying it. Well, the thing is, this place was getting a lot of publicity then and a lot of people staying to see the ghosts. This team went back about 2 or 3 seasons later and found the same ghost, but the ghost was madder than heck. You know why? How would you feel if tourists came into your bedroom every night? You'd be cranky too. And being undead, it's not like you can ignore them or shut the door on them. Anyways, Scott Crocker says, yeah, I mean, it might have just been my dad's influence, but sometimes I feel like a child of the 70s instead of the 80s. Oh, that's the thing. In a lot of cultural ways, I'm an 80s guy. That was when I was in my 20s and living my best life. And I met Cookie during that decade, so that worked too. But in a lot of ways, I'm 60s and 40s, and I wasn't even born in the 40s. I've just always felt like I don't belong anywhere. So, and you want a zombie-full invasion of Oz, then you would need to check out the work of Eric Hawkins. My favorite comic book, The Zombie-Full World of Oz, issue 3 has just been released. It's a gem and lovely campaign and a guy to follow if you want to see how a campaign is fulfilled on Kickstarter. Anthony Bouveau. Hi, Brian. How goes? Hello, everyone. Anthony, it is good to see you, my friend. Hope your morning is going well. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. And Renmelian.com for all great things. Renmelian, one of the most creative ladies I know. She is awesome. I am waiting for her to be able to get back on the road again. Seriously. And morning, Anthony. And comic book black belt, Russ Leach. It is good to see you, my friend. Just drop by and say hello, Brian. Good to see you, man. I'm sorry I've been busy these last Sundays. I'd love to get back on Sunday Funnies with you and Randy and Varian and Daphne and the gang. One of these times I will. And, the thing is, Russ, one of these mornings, if you're free, I wouldn't mind if you wanted to come on this show and we could talk or something. Or you could try to read comments. This will be fun. Anyway, hope you're doing well, my friend. And check out Comic Book Black Belt on Monday evenings where Russ Leach... and I'm not saying this just because you're here, brother. You are an amazing artist. And when I was reminded that you had done Doctor Who, the Doctor Who comics, inside I was fanboying. I really was. Russ is an amazing artist, and check out his Not Even Death Can Save Us. It's a great, great book. I gotta get my copies soon. I really do. And you can get them through Liberty Distribution, Arrow 4.0. Excited for that happening. That is coming closer and closer to fruition. I am so excited for Varian and Randy and everyone involved in that. So that is so cool. And, the thing is, between you and me, Russ, I pitched something to Randy, and I could see you drawing the cover. It would be so cool. Just saying. Hope he takes it up. And Scott Crocker says, there was this meme going around recently on Twitter and Facebook and stuff that I really dig about reverse gatekeeping, forcibly making your friends love the things that you love. Wow. Oh my gosh. I would love more of that. Well, the thing is, people have introduced me to their fandoms and I'm like, I'm digging this. I like it. It's got to be done the right way, of course. But I've developed some fondness for other things, and it's expanded the scope of what I find entertaining, which is never a bad thing. And to see different permutations of it. Comic Book Spectrum is all about that, where we've reviewed stuff, and I'm like, holy cats, I gotta pick that up. I'm excited for today's run to the comic shop. I think there's about half a dozen things coming out today, including Blue Flame #3. That I'm digging that book. I am so digging that book. But yeah, it's like, why don't we sample more fandoms and find more stuff to love? And this weekend, Davenport Comic and Toy Show at North Park Mall, July 31st and August 1st. Cindy Kep will be there with critters, books, comics, dice, and other fun stuff. So check it out. Check out the schedule at quadcitycon.com. And I checked the schedule. Cindy, Michaela, everything that's open that I can get to, I have a show that weekend. Darn it. But next year, I'm going to try to hang out with you ladies. Hanging out with the ladies. And Sarah says, you can't fix stupid and apparently can't quarantine it either. Yeah, and there's not a really good shot for it yet. I mean, the government's done a lot with the My Sharona, Miley Cyrus, but they haven't done jack about stupidity or not CromCon, but ConCrud. I think it's a plot. I really think it's a plot. I mean, I want to put these nanites to work. And Carl Witzman, back in my day, we could make dumb comments, and unless someone painted it on the cave wall, nobody knew about it. Well, you see, that's one thing that helped people not make idiotic comments was that they could come down to where you live and pop you in the mouth. Nowadays you can be a keyboard warrior and say stupid crap on the internet. And no one can stop you. Although if you do stupid crap in public, chances are somebody's got a cell phone. Who hasn't seen Victoria's Secret's Karen? Oh my gosh. And the more I learn about that, I watched a channel called Natalie Lawyer Chick. She's fantastic. And she did a huge breakdown on that. And a lot of the shows that aren't covering the thing fully, this lady could have a lawsuit against Victoria's Secrets, against the mall, the lady that was doing the filming. She may have a case against not just the woman that came after her, but also the mall in the lack of security. Maybe Victoria's Secrets, and definitely the police that were supposed to take her statement and acted very unprofessionally. at best. Skunk Rocker says, which by the way means that all of you are now fans of the Nightmare on Elm Street films, the Hotline Miami game, and the band Dance with the Dead. I don't make the rules. That's a rule I can live with. Well, I'm already a Nightmare on Elm Street fan. That's one of my favorites, in fact, of a lot of the horror franchises. It and Saw. I like the Saw movies, even with the gore and stuff. Hotline Miami, I'd be interested to know more about that, although I don't play video games anymore. And Dance with the Dead, I have heard them. I think Sarah turned me on to that. But yeah, 2 out of 3, just like Meatloaf said, ain't bad. So yeah, I'm proud to be part of it. Thanks for bringing me in, Skunk, and doing good. Hope you're doing good yourself, to Anthony Beauvais, and glad you're all getting along each other. And Eric Hawkins, I'm not a fan of Fezes. They remind me of the Shriners. My mom dated a Shriner, and he was abusive and beat the living crap out of me. So yeah, I just do look past yours, Brian. Well, Eric, I don't want to trigger you. I would never trigger you. So, yeah, I'd never do that. I'm nicer than that. So, actually, these things get warm after a few minutes. So, there are some days I wish I'd picked a more comfortable accoutrement for my branding. And boy, did we have a comment dump just when I was almost caught up to at one point. Wow. Anyway, Anthony says the Frank Langella Dracula rocked. It's one of my favorite ones. The imagery and everything was incredible. Yeah. And it also has a brief appearance by Sylvester McCoy, the 7th Doctor, on there. And Dolph is too old to play He-Man, but I would totally support Frank Langella returning as Skeletor. He sold that movie. Yeah, he did. We are on the same page there, Robert Beatty. Yeah, I'd agree that Dolph is a little lean these days to do it. But I'm sure there's somebody else who could. I'm sure I don't have anyone directly in mind, but I keep hearing occasionally that they do want to make a remake of it, but it's got to have Orko. That is who makes the show, period. End of discussion. And Patreon is a great place to connect with your favorite artistic sorts. You can find freelance words and nifty art at patreon.com/CKOEPP.com or CKOEPP. You got to go to CKOEPP.com, though, to check out also the other works of Cindy Kep. Also, she's on Amazon. And while you're on CKOEPP.com, sign up for her newsletter. It is so good. Robert Beatty, I was okay with the first time Kevin killed him because He-Man died that hero's death. The second time was too much for me. Maybe he's got to do 3 times. It's like Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. You got to knock him 3 times on the ceiling. And Historical Fencing Guild art design question: is the side shaved haircut with an aesthetic? Let me start again. Let me start again here. Art design question: is the side shaved haircut with an athletic built woman become a trope for subtly homosexual / bisexual women? Comparing Nutila and Namari from Raya the Last Dragon seems so. It's funny. Most of the women I've seen with that hairdo are straight. So I don't think we can categorize like that. Like in the 80s, it used to be which ear you had your earring in for guys. And the funny thing was, it was one way in Great Britain and one way here in America. And now it's no way because nobody cares anymore. But anyway, that's a good question, Nick. And now I'm out of break. Don't forget to tip your host. Thank you. Bring Cookie home and sign up for Rising Tide's newsletter. Command Cindy Kep. You listen to her. Go to risingtide.pub and check out the link at the top of the page and sign up for my nifty new newsletter. We are working on it right now, and it's going to go out on the 1st of next month, the 1st of August, and which will be Sunday, when Cindy's at that show. Please check her out, check out her goods, and buy a lot of stuff. Thank you so much, Cindy. And there she is. I know her anywhere. Hello, beautiful people. Mwah. Keisha Acuff, how are you this morning? Looking forward to Cryptid Crunch. And we got to get you on this network too, my darling. We saw you first. And Sarah, yeah, when eyes are open, perspectives change and enlightenment happens. Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing that gets me about just to get political for just a minute here, the My Sharona Miley Cyrus Peter pandemic. A lot of people said, well, they didn't say we had to wear masks. They didn't say we could, do this, that, or the other when the COVID started. They lied to us. No, science changed its mind when it got new evidence. So end of that. And so looking forward to the second Suicide Squad, says Anthony Buffo. I am too. I saw the first trailer and I'm like, this is hilarious. And I wasn't too sure about Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, okay, that's digging deep. as Roland Mann would say, to find that IP. But Gunn did such an amazing job on the first two movies, and so rewatchable. I expect this one will be just the same. And it's got Peter Capaldi in it, a great Doctor Who. And Batista no longer likes Gunn, so that let that tell you whatever it does. He has been blasting Gunn for months now. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't follow Twitter, so I didn't realize that. I always, from what little I heard, I always got the impression that there was something inside the Marvel hierarchy that he didn't like, or he was trying to break free so that he could follow other movie roles, because he really is a good actor. It's really, I shouldn't be surprised. He was a terrific wrestler, and a lot of them are good actors. Look at the Rock. And Rick Bradley says, if social media were around when I was in high school or college, no one would ever hire me. Oh my God, same here. I'd have to become a freelance author the minute I handed in my cap and gown. Your Bill Sargent says, join the Far Out and Groovy Kids by clicking on artwork. Blah, blah, blah. Join, this show is just one long blooper reel some days. Join the Far Out and Groovy Kids by clicking on Facebook's Sarnar76 for better days from yesteryear. Its snazzy, jazzy sketches are always available for purchase safe and securely through PayPal. So hit the follow button on the artwork of Bill Sargent, where everything old is new again. And no, Sarah, no banana hammock, okay? And Batista is going to be the animal rabbin in the new Dune movie. Oh, interesting. And Gunn is a strange fellow. He did softcore porn with peanut characters. Michael Rosenbaum was Charlie. Now, see, for me, Eric, that's a selling point. Okay, that just makes me love Gunn all the more. An historical fencing guild, not judging but observing, as it seems a new form of character shortcut / coding. And I find the process of new character coding fascinating, just like how a long curly mustache still means evil. In a lot of places it does. Although in steampunk anymore, it's not so much an indicator. And that's the thing. The problem is with shortcut indicators like that is some of them don't age well. That was why you see a lot of like sitcoms from the 60s and 50s that are still beloved today, like The Honeymooners or Andy Griffith's Show or or I Love Lucy or any number of these shows where people are still watching it because they deal with human truths. They still deal with human emotions that even now we can still relate to, as opposed to shows that are so mired in their era that some of them just don't evolve as well as a lot of them. Happy Days is one. It just said, okay, it's the 70s now. We're putting it in the 50s. We're bringing it up to the early 60s, and then we're done. That's fine. Yes, dear.
Work called. I have to go to ROCC.
Okay.
I told them I'd be there about 1.
Okay, that's not a problem.
Okay, because they think I may need to go into work today.
Oh, they're wrong.
Well, they need further information, not just my opinion.
Okay, well, I'll talk to them then. Don't they know that I'm a internet a rocket surgeon?
Oh, okay, cool.
I got it from google.u. edu. Yeah. So we will. Have you heard from the PT yet or anything, or the clinic that we contacted this morning?
No.
Okay.
But I think ROCC is going to trump them, because they're going to. But I also noticed that it's a little bit before 12, and I wanted to give you a heads up. Okay. Well, and you can take the car. I'll do my shopping then. We probably need to get you fed then, don't we? Yeah. Okay. Can you do it, or I should do it for you? You expect me to be able to chop things?
Yes. Do your job, woman. And
I think this is my job.
No, I want all 5 fingers, woman.
Slap across the face?
I deserve it.
Okay.
Yes, you can still do that, so quit whining. No, well, I'll come down in a few minutes. Folks, hope you don't mind, but I'm gonna make Cookie lunch. She has trouble with just one wing. Okay, honey? Yeah. So we'll cap this off real fast, all right? All right, thank you. So anyway, that'd make a good subject. We need to talk about things like that. I'm assembling a clever tile pending with that stuff. Nick, you're on my page for that, okay? To contact on it. We need to talk about that stuff. From this, from Small Press Publisher, you're correct. Stinkor is the skunk character. Yes, I knew it. And Ragin, Oh, that's Meredith and Nina there. Swinging in for a quick hello. Mwah! Hope you have a great weekend. Check out Rage and AC. It's a great channel on YouTube. They deserve more people. And everyone's saying hello to each other. And yes, it's getting close to that time. And totally off topic, but I'm ready for a new Flash Gordon movie with Batista as Prince Voltan. Oh, he'd yell, "Who wants to live forever?" and then body slam him. And Jody, we hope you get some sleep too. And coming with some new work on drivethrurpg.com. Check out the site, folks. And what is this? What is sleep? Ask Joe Dog, or ask, it's not Joe Dog. I only got 3 hours myself last night. Jody McPhee, I don't know either. And tip your host so he can buy slings for his beautiful honey. And Nick doesn't have any more idea than we do. Guns Powder Milkshake on Netflix does the John Wick genre better than John Wick. Wow. And is it too early to not tell you not to die and feed Cookie? Either way, I'm saying a good man. New Tom and Jerry movies were not funny at all. I agree. I don't like them getting along. And Joe is going to have more stuff to show us on Friday. And new Space Jam is only good when LeBron is not in the show. And Luke has a show. Awesomeness. Yeah, it's the same time as mine on Tuesdays, but if you're gonna desert me, that I would understand for him. And Thundercats, Masters Universe, Looney Tunes, and TMNT, we're my faves. I'm with you on that one, Robert. We agree again. Skunkcracker, yeah, my dad loved Underdog and Hong Kong Phooey and Super Chicken and Secret Squirrel and all those shows, so I watched that too. Basically anything with anthropomorphic animals, he's a stereotype. And Nick missed out on the 80s cartoons because parents controlled the TV, but it meant a lot more PBS. Kaiju, Kung Fu, and old Zorro, Batman, Wild Wild West. I did get the 80s, 90s peak anime. Oh, nice. And the newer shows that were coming out when I was growing up, I really liked, also had anthropomorphic animals. Now that I think about Sonic the Hedgehog, Angry Beavers, Ren and Stimpy, etc. And I know what animals at the zoo feel like when you go to stare at them in their home after my landlord showed my house yesterday to 2 potential buyers. You're supposed to be out of the house when this happens for just that reason, Robert. Well, I didn't know you were moving. Well, good luck with that. Okay. And just shout, Brian, I'll be there. Excellent. We got work on it. We could have you on the morning show if that would be more to your schedule. I don't want to keep you up all night. And geez, maybe I got a problem. Yeah, but it's a great one. And ooh, I'm excited this comic book. Well, you're long overdue, man. I'm excited to have you on, Russ. Seriously. And exactly what I was going to point out. Respect the ghosts of Sarah. They had flesh suits too. They have homes, and people act like it's for giggles or adrenaline rushes. And yeah, less than 22 now. And whenever Willis Schuyler mentioned she was born in the wrong time period, I get reminded that those time periods weren't friendly to women's rights. That's right. They weren't. And if you want the absolute best in classic cartoons, Saturday morning commercial Schoolhouse Rock, join the Everyday is Saturday Facebook book group. It's truly a Saturday morning time traveling treasure. And yeah, Willow says, Skunkcracker, there was a great episode of After Hours about that, where the 3 guys are discussing where in time they'd like to travel, and the one girl is like, this is not a fun game for me. Willow says, we can appreciate fandom and music for other time periods, doesn't mean we would want to experience everything from that time. And Robert Beatty likes the new Ghostbuster trailers, even though we're not sold on kids with proton packs. Give them matches and gasoline, just like when I was a kid. I'm actually going to go watch it with an open mind. Excellent, Robert. That's all we ask, man. That's all we ask. And Skunkcracker then tried to help by explaining to her that she could go back to those different time periods, but every time she just points out that she would be accused of being a witch or worse. Well, yeah. And let's see. Skunkcracker says, when they finally ask her what time period would be appropriate, it's like the 1980s. And Joe Dog McKeel says, I hope the government never tries to fix stupid. Look at the job they've done on poverty, drugs, and terrorism. They go after stupidity. We're screwed. Oh my God, that is so true. And let's see, we're going to skip some comments because I got to take care of my girl. Okay. And Uncle Carl says, Historical Fencing Guild, I just want to pass along a message. Biggie Jersey, the Mothman, want to say how good was to see you prowling through the woods, and what in earth is going on in Victoria's Secret? I'll explain later, says Doctor Who. You would save so much money since back in Starbucks, you subscribe to Disney Plus and Netflix instead of buying Blu-rays. I probably would. And yes, Frank Langella as Skeletor was a great, fantastic experience. I agree with you, man. And have a great BKM, and everyone, thanks for all you do. Thank you for all you do, Ted. We'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. with Glenn B. Fleming on The Truth Mongers. And while BKM, let's just be supportive and tolerant, makes negative remark on Fez's BKM maximize triggering retort. That's right. Don't make fun of the Fez. And I never cared for all those redundant, repetitive slasher movies. The Universal monster movies trumps them all. Enough said. I will agree with you there, Bill. And it's a Warriors cut. Nick Tila is not a lesbian. She is in love with Prince Adam. Okay. And James Gunn has said Suicide Squad is his best movie and the greatest superhero ever. All right. Hope to run into you in Metropolis Saturday. Don't worry. This anti-masker vaxxer will say hello from 6 feet away. See that you do. See that you do. Cooties. Anyway, no, I'm teasing. I'll hug you because I am immune. I've got my shot. And great shoe as always. He said, thank you for a great shoe. Got a boogie for now. Have a nice day. Bye, Candias. Do good deeds. Thank you, Bill Sarn. You too. And Keisha Acuff says, I've been doing all right. I've been on the last few Last Man Standing episodes. Good for you, darling. We got to get you on the network here for your own show. And blooper reel and combos made for great memories. Thanks, Sarah. Sarah, love you. And Comics Talking Pops and Zan. Looking forward to CromCom this weekend. Feed Cookie and turn to CromCom this weekend. And take her to the ER. She's already been there, John. And here I go. And yes, I am late promoting his work. I hear you, brother, but you're always welcome to do it here. She's going to tase you, Brian. So, yeah, no joke. And do we need to go down to HR and fix their lack of paperwork? Yeah, we need to fold till it's all corners and go for it. Love you to the abyss and back. You too, Sarah. Sarah, love you. And yes, Nick, we will take care of Cookie and go for it. Love you. And go feed Cookie. Yes, Damien, I will. Thank you, my brother. You have a great one too. And Hotline Miami is great. Said in an alternate 1980 Florida where the Cold War wasn't cold and Russia did a nuclear strike against the U.S. in San Francisco, and between a toddler and a fully pregnant woman both taking up the bed kept me from sleeping. I understand that, Rick. I understand that completely. Skunk, I am sorry I will read this later, but I have got to take care of Cookie, and I hope you will understand, my friend. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you for everything. We will be back. We'll have a special episode on Friday if all things work out, even though I'll be in Metropolis. So we'll check this out. And also want to thank Plasma Fire Graphics. We're not going to short them because they are a sponsor of our show. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. And Plasma Fire Graphics, sorry we're running graphics over that. But anyway, we appreciate it. Skunk, we at least got him on the show, and people can read that. And when you get your new computer, you'd better give it a shot. I'd love to, man. I really would. And you have a great day too, Willow. All of you, please have a great day. And thank you, as always, to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please check it out. Please check out tonight, 7 p.m. Ted Davies, Glenn B. Fleming, The Truthmongers, Giants abound, and they're going to tell you all about the legend and lore of that. Also, tomorrow morning, Ted Talks Timepieces. He's going to show you 5 ugly ones. You want to tune in for that. 7 p.m. I will be joined by Eric Hawkins, Brian Rodman, and Clyde Hall for Comic Book Spectrum, weekly comic book review and discussion show. Please join us. And then after that is Stupid O'Clock with Joe Dog, the Skunk Rocker, and all those cool people talking about stuff, followed by Last Man Standing with Dan Hollifield. It is a good time. Also, for a good time, call me at patreon.com. It is a great place where you can support your favorite creators financially with a modest monthly stipend, and just $1 will get you something with me. To find out what it is, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And also check out my newest book, Snow Ambition, 4th in the Snow short series. It's a standalone, quick read crime thriller. Check it out. Available now for 99 cents on Amazon.com. Also available from Ben-Books and BobbyNash.com. And as always, folks, we appreciate your being here. Appreciate Cookie's patience. And we will have very few commercials at the end of this. And I hope you all understand. We will get to it all later.
How dare you!
Hey, it's my wife. Shut up, Greta. Anyway, we're going to get ready for the final video here. And as always, let's see. Oh, there it is. I can't wait for the reordering thing to start. And it's still not today. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for allowing me to leave. We'll have a special Friday episode on Nevermind the Furthermore with any luck. We'll let you know. If not, we'll communicate it on our usual pages. So as always, folks, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a fantastic hump day. New Comic Day. A great Wednesday to you all. Thanks for being here on Nevermind the Furthermore. Have a great one.
Thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide broadcast network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore.